If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Sia, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This. I'm Ben, and this is Sia. How are you guys doing today? Now, today, I got another question for you. Are we losing the battle of trust in our digital dialogue? We're spending more and more time online. We're spending less and less time face-to-face. We're not picking up the phone. We're not going out and meeting people. We're not spending time away from our 24-inch monitor or our 6-inch screen. And quite honestly, we're not talking. We're typing. We're putting stuff out there in the digital universe and assuming these people are our friends, assuming that these people are part of our trusted network, that these are the people that are reliable to us. But are they? Do people trust you when you're putting your digital dialogue out there? When you're putting your digital face into the universe, are you building trust? Are you building understanding? Are you building value? Or are you just putting stuff out there to say, look at me and look how wonderful I am? Guess what? Me personally, I'm seeing way more people that are, look at me, look how wonderful I am, look how important I am, look how successful I am. I don't care about any of those people. And quite honestly, I tend to scroll past them and I tend to move on. And I tend to look for people that want to have real, live, interesting conversations about interesting things, whether it's business, whether it's about life, about stuff that's going to move both their needle and my needle and is going to make the world a better place. Sia, let's gnaw on this.
Okay, so let me tell you a ting. Let me talk about a ting.
Yes.
Hold please. I just had a brain fart. What are we talking about again?
I just smelled it.
Now, what are we talking about again?
We're talking about digital presence.
That's right, digital presence. So what I just did there was what a normal human does, okay? When we don't know what the hell we're talking about, we're just saying, like, here's what is getting me is we are content creators. My business creates content for our clients, okay?
All day long, every day.
I know the AI tools. I play with those AI tools. I use some of those AI tools, okay? But the critical difference is how are you applying those AI tools, okay? Like, what kind of level of authenticity are you trying to create for your brand, for your business, for your personal brand, and who you are? And that's where I think this and it's this fallacy of perfection on, like social media, for example, that is killing us because there's this need to keep up with the Joneses, to show that we're perfect, that every post is like, like that is where I don't trust a lot of brands that damn well are using AI tools. If for those that use AI, I know damn well when you're using it because we see all the same results from the prompts, and you have to keep massaging the prompts to make it a little bit less generic, and more authentic. And even then, all those prompts and the time it takes, like, couldn't you just written it your own damn self, for example? You know what I mean? So, okay. I understand, again, as a creator, you want to be efficient.
Yes.
You want to be able to convey an idea, a concept, create a sense of community. Sometimes those tools are great for efficiency purposes. I get it. Okay, I get it. But when you start doing it to respond in comments, when you start blasting people in DMs, when you start blasting it over emails, generic content, I already get spam enough as it is. And if I see like even more generic content, like people, you realize I've said this. I think what was that other previous podcast? I'm going on a rant where we're basically normalizing bots.
We are
Where it's
normalizing
like,
bots.
I don't want to post anymore on social media. It's a pain in the ass, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to outsource it to bots. And then you have a bot replying back to a bot because now you want to be active on social media. So you're going to use a platform that's going to reply back on my behalf. Now you just get by the way, I just learned, and for the tinfoil, damn it, I really need to make a tinfoil hat, Ben. There is a
I'll make you one for next week.
Thank you. Please, please, please. There is a tin foil hat conspiracy called the dead internet theory. I don't know if you've heard it before.
Okay.
But basically, the premise of it, more or less, is along the lines of 99% of the content that we see on the internet is bot created, and that we've dumbed down our society in a context where we don't even question whether it's been bot created or human created, that we just rely on these tools enough where it will eventually be all bot. And we just sit back passively assume humans are creating things when in essence we're ushering in Skynet and allowing them to think for us.
Here's a perfect example. There's a guy out of Australia, and I haven't actually seen him online for a while, but there was a time, and he was on my podcast a few years ago, that had 1 million followers on LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn went in and they cleared out all the bots, and he lost 40% of his followers.
Yep.
40%.
Yep.
40% of his followers were bots. And you sit there and say, okay, so you're 40% of the people that are looking at your stuff, if you're lucky, probably a higher of it's just going into a vacuum. People that aren't listening, people that aren't looking, people that don't care. It's just automation. I mean, my challenge is, and we'll get back to the content creation, is in the volume of content creation, is I sit there and say, I wake up in the morning and, I'm a few time zones behind you. So by the time I get up, there are people that have 6 posts on LinkedIn. Here are 6 new posts by X. And what's the first thing I do is I scroll past that. I don't have time to look through 6 of their posts and differentiate which is the interesting one, which is the non-interesting one, which are the one that I should pay attention to, which one I don't. I don't have the time. There's 30 people that I look at every single morning, and I at least read their posts, and I try to comment on them as much as I can, because these are people that I add value to, and they add value to me.
Yes.
And those are the people that get my time and their energy. Just because you've created 6 posts doesn't mean you're going to get 6 times the amount of face time with me. In fact, you're going to get less. And when it comes to the banality of AI, and AI is about aggregation. Aggregation means going for the medium. It means going for the mean. It means going for the middle. Therefore, nothing is too high, nothing is too low, and there isn't anything in there that isn't the average. And if all that's you're doing by doing that, if you're just using AI content and you're not editing stuff and you're not making it your own, all you're doing is you're putting out average stuff that nobody else wants to listen to, and you're creating noise out there that is just turning people away, not driving people towards you.
I like the way you put that. Are you creating music, or are you creating noise?
Yeah,
or are you contributing
most are creating
to noise?
noise?
Because I think there are days when I'm like, F it, dude. I just want to like, I need to keep massaging that damn algo, and I'm just going to put something up and out there. I see the trap of what can happen when one loses focus and loses their intentionality and goals of whatever they're trying to achieve. I think we talked about in a previous episode or two, which is, hey man, what's your elephant in the room that you're trying to address? And any activity that you're doing, is it addressing that elephant in the room that you need, right? Are you feeding it and making it healthy? Or as you say, biting into and eating the elephant? PSA, don't eat the elephants.
Don't eat the elephant.
No, don't eat the elephants. Yeah, so So again, I think we've talked about this before. I'm not anti AI. Like I said, I have AI tools I use. Like, let
Me
me tell
too. I
you,
use
like,
AI tools all day, every day. Not all
and
day,
they've,
every day, but every day.
I use it every day. Not all
Yeah.
day, but yeah, you're right. I do it every day. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's the, can you be trustworthy with your, whatever it is, content that you're creating, your emails. Okay. I get it. I get it. There are emails where you're just like, shouldn't I just been a CC, not a send to, right? Like
Hmm.
I could just be reading as an FYI. You're
Yeah.
not expecting a response from me, are you? And I see why some people are like, the Google prompts will be like, hey, do you want to just hit congrats and be like done for the day and call it a day? Like, I don't see value in that. Now, I get it from a convenience perspective. Like LinkedIn does prompts, right? Where it's like you,
Yeah.
you see it and it's like I'm looking at one post right now, which by the way, pretty damn funny, where it says, congrats, fantastic update. Best of luck, keep growing. Okay,
That's a LinkedIn prompt. That's a,
yeah, those are like options that you can like. And by the way, I'm happy to look at the because I just love them. The National Park Service,
yeah.
they're good job social media team. So they post like it's Happy National Fossil Day, and it's a
Perfect.
picture of two park rangers taking a picture of a payphone. Good
See,
job, guys.
that's funny. That's creative.
Yeah,
That's creative. I mean, that's somebody that's taking a little bit of an edge and making you just go, oh, okay, that's funny. That's funny. And you stop and you look at it and you go, wait a second here. That's somebody that's actually taking themselves a little less seriously and but still are on point and on brand. That's
yes.
creative. I like that.
And that's something that, you know what, a bot may have given the inspiration to take that picture, and there's
Maybe.
no shame in that. But the execution of it, right? That's really ultimately goes down to the execution. And then, by the way, because I have to, PSA, I don't understand how people still buy into, I'm going to automate bots to slide into your DMs.
Ugh.
I don't understand who is coaching and basically saying, use this platform. It's a great idea to outbound on DMs, to do lead generation on LinkedIn or any other social media platform. Whoever these people are paying for to do this, I really want to talk to you. I really genuinely want to understand, how effective have you been? Maybe I'm the old curmudgeon here and it's the latest, greatest thing and everyone should be doing. But to me, it feels lazy.
Okay, but
That's what it is. I feel
there's
it's
a
lazy.
difference between sending out sending out a conversation through digital, and and I don't do this, but I've seen it, where it's let's start a conversation, and here's a point that we should have a conversation on, versus let me sell you this, and I get pitch slapped 50 times a day by people who slide it, friend me, connect with me, and then the first thing I get from them is, how can I sell you this?
Oh yeah.
And I'm
Oh
going,
yeah.
you just got blocked, you just got reported, and I'm on to somebody else. You're gone. You are out of my life. You're gone. I block people so fast and so often that would make their heads spin.
So it's funny. I gave someone a chance, and their response was a bot back to me. It was very
Mm-hmm.
evident it was a bot. So then
Obvious, yes.
I was in a mood and I replied back. I said, really? First off, I took a chance that this wasn't a bot. And then your reply just validated you're using a bot. Is this really the branding that you want to go with? Because I will not talk to you. The person immediately replied back saying, oh, no, 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 I'm sorry. This is me. And you could tell the way that person
Yeah.
speaks. It's so different. And I said, look, you seem like a nice person, but I'm incredibly turned off by your tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're trying to sell me your coaching on how to do content creation. Did you even bother reading my fracking profile? So anyway, suffice to say, oh, and then there was another one. Oh, I have to say it. Another one where it was a video pitching platform where like, oh, I'm just gonna send you a video of myself. They couldn't be bothered to say my name right.
Yeah.
And it was a generic message. And it was you could see you could tell it was AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this means absolutely nothing. So you're telling me you're a robot? Is that what you want? And then it was a CEO that ended up replying back, and he was being a total a-hole to me. And I'm like, dude, I would never recommend your product. Anyway, okay.
Our brand is how people perceive us when we're not in the room. It's really that simple. It's how do people talk about us and perceive us when we're not in the room is probably the best way to say that's our brand. And how we present ourselves enables people to either trust us, like us, want to connect with us, want to possibly do business with us, or block us and talk about us in the most horrific ways to other people. And the problem is most people on social media are lazy and are just looking for the dopamine hit and don't want to actually do the hard work that it takes to build relationships.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get spam for this one. I know that.
I can't even I'm trying to be a positive glass full person right now, but like I'm in the industry, people. I can tell you it is disheartening at times to see, again, this is LinkedIn specifically that we're talking about. LinkedIn is about really building authentic relationships. Maybe on Instagram, if you want to post that you live that rich life, hashtag whatever, that's fine. I don't give a crap.
Fill your boots. I'm not going to look at it anyway.
That's your prerogative. And again, that's not our tribe. That's not our community that we're striving for. But on LinkedIn, I think you can take some best practices of other platforms and apply it to LinkedIn. But the bottom line is LinkedIn is and will always be a business focused site. That's what it is.
Authenticity and trust are your capital.
100%. It is. I can't even go on, be honest, without like.
All right, so let's leave it. Let's leave it there because I think we could talk about this for another week. Anyway,
audience,
love
let
to
us
see
know
in the comments. Loved hearing your thoughts on this. I can't wait to read it all because I think there's going to be some hilarious stuff sitting in the comments today. I'm Ben.
I'm Sia.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not on This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Not on This, Business Bites.